Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your Raw review. Well, what do you want me to say? I don't think I could say anything that would really do this show justice. I don't think there's enough to say in this video that could really convey my emotions and feelings about this show and just how much it absolutely sucked. I mean, saying that Raw sucks at this point, you might as well put that on autopilot. You know, I don't seem like I get these comments anymore because probably these people unsubscribed already. They got sick of hearing, every single Raw. And they probably just stopped watching Raw as it is. But, they'd say I'm too negative and everything. I guarantee you, I am probably the realist when it comes to Raw because when I do say that I like things, right? Do I not say that I'm behind guys like Strowman? I'm even behind Roman Reigns, who everybody hates. I just think he's misbooked. Do I not like Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler? Oh, you hate all the small guys. Don't I get behind guys like Bryan, but also attack him? Well, not him, but creative when they have him beat up a 7 foot tall monster and say that that's a bit unbelievable. Just saying, but you can pretty much assume at this point that every Raw review is going to be pretty negative for a very long time. So they recently signed a deal with Fox. It's pretty much finalized. And isn't Fox like looking at this in comparison to what they had with the UFC? Aren't they looking at it and just being like, why did we sign on to this? I mean, they must know. Why would they even want this on their channel? I mean, really, it's not even like there's any high ratings or anything like that. WWE defenders like to talk, oh, WWE stock is up and all this bullshit. Well, their ratings are down. Attendance suffers. They have to like do some type of filming techniques to make like the arenas are fuller than what they are. So, I'm not really see the profits are coming from merchandise and other avenues like the network and all that. So anyway, let's get right to the show. We open up with Kurt Angle. He's gonna give Roman Reigns an opportunity at Money in the Bank, which brings out Stephanie McMahon. She says that he's had enough opportunities, rallying against Reigns. Again, what they are doing here is they're doing the Daniel Bryan thing. They're saying like, oh, Bryan, has had enough opportunities. We're gonna keep, well, not even opportunities, but we're gonna keep him down and everything. And the audience is obviously booing Reigns. They don't want him to have opportunities anyway. So the fact that they're writing the storylines that like the fans want that, it's almost like a little pseudo Stone Cold storyline. They're kind of going with the 2015, 2016 Roman Reigns storyline with a bit of Bryan thrown in where management is like trying to keep him down. Like, is anybody gonna buy this? Is no one's getting behind it in the audience? And I know that I say you can't preach to the house. You can't do everything for everyone in the arena. You got to do it for the people at home because that's where the money's made. But this makes absolutely no sense in the grand scheme of things. Reigns is not being cheered. It sounds completely ridiculous. I mean, you would have more success, like I told you, if Stephanie sided with Reigns or something like that. I mean, anything different than what they got. So Kevin Owens comes out. He puts his arm on Stephanie. And, he talks about, even though he attacked her father. See, that I get. Some people kind of go against that and say, oh, why would Stephanie side with like Kevin Owens and people like that if, he attacked the father? The thing is, I mean, they've been screwing each other for so long, stabbing each other in the back, the McMahons. I think it kind of makes a bit of sense. Why Kevin Owens is such a prized commodity is beyond me. I mean, you take one look at this guy and, you know, it kind of speaks for itself. So she makes a match between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. The match ends in disqualification. We join the match in progress, and Seth Rollins and Reigns are in a tag match against Jinder and Owens. They do way too much of this, just transitioning right away into the tag match as soon as there's interference. Like, oh, we made the match during the break. Okay, well, anyway, Seth Rollins, Red Hot Rollins. Does anybody cringe when they hear Michael Cole screaming at the top of his lungs, "The King Slayer," or Red Hot Rollins? What was it? Iowa's Own. All these different names. The Architect. How many nicknames does this guy have? I like to call him Seth Man Rollins, but he hasn't said that in about a month. I mean, you guys are on fire tonight. I mean, holy cow. I really don't like Rollins. I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, this guy is talented in the ring and stuff. I mean, he hurts people. He's lame, but, I'm sorry. I just can't take more of Rollins. If they are planning on building up Red Hot Rollins to beat Lesnar, I swear to God, I mean, you're going to have Braun Strowman fall at the hands of Brock Lesnar, but you'll have maybe Seth Rollins take the title from him. I think that's where they're going with this. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I think that they're planning on putting the Universal title on Seth Rollins. And at that point, guys, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're pretty much lost on, anything kind of going in a way that would really make any type of logical sense or be good quality television. I mean, you're going to have all these big guys falling to Brock Lesnar. And Seth Rollins, of all people, will take the title. Because I'm just telling you, I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. And that is going to be a fucking joke. I'm going to... Yeah, when that happens, expect a pretty big rant. Because I know that's where they're going. Unless, they kind of wise up and decide to do something a little different. Oh God, I didn't even realize that this was next. Before we head into the next segment, let me just say that Bobby Lashley was a guy that, I didn't really care so much for, when he was in WWE in 2006 and 2007, and a little bit at the end of 2005. I really thought that they were kind of just trying to make this guy like the new Brock Lesnar. Always the guy with the amateur skills. He's got an impressive background. He was in the military. And those are all good credentials for the announcers to talk about and, for them to play off in the storylines perhaps and just be able to really say this guy belongs to be there. But I really wasn't impressed by the guy. He didn't have any charisma. He had a very soft speaking voice. And, I just really didn't care for the guy. Also, I was younger at the time. I have different tastes now. And so, now I like Bobby Lashley. The guy has got a great physique. And, now, like more than ever, I really appreciate when these wrestlers take the time to really hone their bodies and look like they belong. I seen Lashley in TNA. He was an impressive champion. He really looked like he took the time to improve in almost every single department, including on the mic, where he's still soft-spoken and everything. But for the most part, since he's come back, they have done absolutely nothing with Bobby Lashley. They've put him in six-man tags. His very first match in the WWE since his return was a fucking six-man tag where basically he was just another face in the crowd. I don't know why you would do that if you really want to try to get Lashley over with your newer, younger fans who may not know Lashley, and also to reestablish him with the older fans. why you wouldn't immediately catapult this guy maybe into a match with Brock Lesnar right off the bat, because hell, it's not like there's anything else interesting going on. I mean, people will complain about build and stuff and shit. You know, the thing is, like I said, it's not like a lot's going on here. It's not like, you know, it's like not like they build anything up anyway. So you might as well just fucking have the match, right? Unless they're gonna wait until the cows come home. I mean, but they've done nothing with this guy. So what has he been doing? He's had a sit-down interview. He didn't even appear on an episode of Raw. You know, it's been a total fucking mess, to say the least, since Lashley returned. Tag teaming with Strowman in his first match, first pay-per-view match. I mean, you know, they've been on a real roll here, a real roll of just not doing anything with a guy who's obviously pretty special. I mean, this is a guy that, you know, doesn't really look like anybody else, and he really could be something. So, you know, so what did they do? They had him sit down, do an interview with Renee Young where he talked about his sisters. He talked about his background. This had nothing to do with his aspirations in WWE. Had nothing to do... Well, I thought at the time that it didn't have anything to do with the storylines, but all the reason why they did this, I said, why is he talking about his sisters in like a fucking 10-minute interview here? Sitting down, I felt like it was pretty damn long. I don't know how long it was, but it was pretty goddamn long. So, sitting there, watching this interview, bored out of my fucking mind. Everyone else probably turned the channel and everything. You know, they have this guy with amazing physique. He's all covered up in a suit. You know, he's sitting down, talking, telling us a boring story. You know, like we're on fucking Oprah Winfrey or some shit, or we're on the Ellen DeGeneres show, some daytime talk show, just fucking shooting the breeze like nothing else is going on or nothing else is important, or you're not like we're on a fucking wrestling show or anything. So what happens? You know, you have Sami Zayn last week beating up Bobby Lashley, which just looked completely fucking foolish. He's, you know, manhandling Lashley, you know, bashing his face into the turnbuckle post and all this shit. I mean, I was just like, a guy like Sami Zayn manhandling a guy that looks like Bobby Lashley. It speaks for itself. So then he was talking about how he's going to bring his sisters to Raw. He contacted them through Facebook and whatever. So he brings them on Raw. And I thought maybe they were at least going to probably just have some indie girls maybe posing as his sister or you know, whatever. But what did he do? He brings out 3 male indie workers in drag. And they all have a little something that had to do with Lashley. One had a towel, one had like a helmet, and this just went on and on and on. And it's like, did they not learn their fucking lesson from the Alexa Bliss "This Is Your Life" segment? Did they not learn anything from Old Day? I mean... It's one bad segment after another with these guys. It's bad enough that these shows are fucking horrible and they're basically televised house shows. It's bad enough that these have been some of the worst Raws I've ever seen since after WrestleMania of all times. And I'm sitting here watching this. Lashley comes out, he's laughing, he said he was entertained, and he beats up all of them, and there you go, that's your segment. So you've got this guy, Bobby Lashley, military man, amateur wrestling background, former champion, mind you. And what do you do with Lashley? What do you do with him? You put him in a segment with guys dressed in drag with Sami Zayn, who doesn't even look like he could even make a fucking dent, a fucking scratch on Lashley. Why are we doing this? Why? I don't know. Creative is bad. Creative is horrible. McMahon approves this shit. He's lost his touch. He's got nobody to rein him in. I mean, he's got like a bunch of yes men around him because you just had a segment not too long ago, not even a year ago as pet, or maybe it hasn't been exactly a year, since Alexa Bliss and Bayley bombed in that This Is Your Life segment. Remember how horrible that was? Remember how painstaking it was? They wouldn't even put it on their YouTube channel. It was so fucking bad. They were ashamed of what they did. Well, why would you go ahead and do something that's possibly even worse? I mean, they're so fucking clueless. They have no idea what they're doing at all. Like, why? Who would find this entertaining? Who would want to watch this? If you're not like a fan and you're just flipping the channels, why would you stay on this? Why would you stay on this? And I'm sorry, but the whole thing of a man dressing up in drag, okay, there was some funny moments with Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe and maybe Bobby Heenan on the first episode of Raw. But I would say this type of humor is pretty fucking dated. Because they've done it so many times. It's been done in so many movies, so many TV shows, so many cartoons. Bugs Bunny was doing it in the fucking 40s. Moving on. Ember Moon defeated Alexa Bliss because Alexa Bliss just isn't worth shit anymore. I guess she qualifies last week. Let's just have her lose clean to Ember Moon. And the thing is, why is she a warrior goddess? She comes out, she's got a cool entrance with the moon and shit. She looks like she's some fucking Japanese warrior. But there's no character here. There's nothing. Why is she a warrior goddess? Does she act like a warrior goddess? No. She has contacts and she sticks her tongue out. Beyond that, what else does she do? Like I said, these people are just plain fucking wrestlers. And the thing is, I have to say, I remember my days of going to shows on Lake Grove, Long Island, and Ring of Honor, where it was all about the in-ring product. Even they had more characters. Remember the Embassy? Remember Prince Nana? You just had more personality, even on a fucking indie show, than this garbage. I mean, they don't even, it's just everybody gets a nickname, but they don't want to expand upon it beyond that. Let's design a cool entrance for him. Let's give him, it's like Seth Rollins has so many nicknames, yet he has not one character. Oh, I don't even want to talk about this one. Okay. So, Finn Balor and Braun Strowman. So Braun Strowman's actually walking into a room with Finn Balor. He actually is friends with Finn Balor. Yeah, that's right. This is the same monster who, flipped over a semi, did all this shit to Roman Reigns, toppled the structure down on Brock Lesnar and Kane and all this, so he's a monster. He's unchained. He's unleashed. He goes on a rampage, and now he's just calmly in an office with Finn Balor. There's a fruit basket there, and I couldn't help but feel that there was a bit of a comparison. I'm just gonna say that when they kept on stressing the fruit and Finn Balor. And I'm not joking there. That's not even a joke. Look at his shirt. Remember how we came out at WrestleMania? And now they're making, like, a lot of this shit about the fruit. And a few of these lines, like, I'm good for fruit. And, yeah, I mean, Stephanie was talking about his smile. He's a nice guy. I mean, so much wrong with this segment. But the fruit basket shit, I was just like, are they really doing this? You guys gotta know. Think a little bit outside the box here, what they're doing there. Then Strowman holds the fruit, crushes it in front of him. Balor's smiling the whole time until he does that. Interpret it for yourself, folks. That's all I'm going to say here. Moving on. Baron Corbin defeated No Way Jose, and I can't help but feel there was a missed opportunity here. So No Way Jose, has he even won a match since he's been back? Whatever, who cares? Who gives a fuck? Baron Corbin. So, we hear Corey Graves talk about how Corbin has a collection of human skulls. And like Coach or Michael Cole says, oh yeah, I heard that too. And then they move on from it. Instead of having this lame-ass match, that right there was interesting. That was more interesting than the whole match. So this guy's got a collection of the human skulls. So we all know that Corbin is a metalhead. We all know that he wears black clothing line and all that. So why not play into that? I don't understand that. You're going to just tell us he has a collection of human skulls. Why not show him at his house or whatever, showing off his collection, cutting a psychological promo about, why he lives this type of lifestyle. Remember like what they used to do with Droz? And I know they weren't that successful with Droz, but it was the same thing. Try to get to know the guy. Because once again, he's a guy that has no character. I mean, he was Money in the Bank. He should have kept his mouth shut on Twitter, apparently. And, now his career has just gone off the rails. But this is one way to get him back on track. They should do like a Jake the Snake Roberts style of promo for him. Yeah, okay, maybe he's not the best promo guy, but you could script it for him. You pre-tape it, obviously. And it would be a really cool little vignette. I mean, I can't begin to tell you, and I've said it right here in these reviews so many times, where the announcers talk about things to get the wrestlers over when they have no character and has no relation to who they are. You see little hints of it. I've said it time and time again. I mean, there's so many things where you see these people's lives on Instagram and everything, and they don't even play into that. Play off of real life, for God's sakes. Make their character who they are. Establish personality. You will get people interested in them like you used to. When each character meant something, even the most lowly of mid-carders at least had some type of gimmick. Even if it wasn't a big flashy gimmick, you still knew what they represented and who they were. Now it's just like plain guys with plain names and just 1,000 nicknames until, they strike one that's a bit catchy. And Chad Gable and Kurt Angle were backstage. This was a little bit odd like it was a few weeks ago. I mean, this was the guy who was supposed to be Kurt Angle's son. Drew McIntyre and Ziggler show up and, they make fun of Gable. They're supposed to be taking over the WWE, and they're not doing enough. They should be attacking guys. They should be just doing so much more. And this is this is what I need to ask. How do they expect these guys to make an impact when they're not doing anything impactful? They're not doing anything out of the ordinary. Okay, they're making fun of Chad Gable last week. They pinned Finn Balor in a match, barely. I mean, I don't really see what's like so takeover-ish about them. I'm just saying, like, there's nothing here really to like warrant this supposed gimmick because they're not doing anything with it. I mean, Drew McIntyre looks like $1,000, looks like $1 million, and this is a guy obviously that could be so much more. But it's like, I don't know, they stay stagnant. You're introducing them. Have them explode onto the scene. They might do it once, but then they go off with a whimper. Nobody has any momentum. No, nobody does. Not even their most beloved star in Roman Reigns. Not even he is on a roll. Not even he has any momentum at all. So that's why I laugh when people say, oh, Roman Reigns continues to get pushed. How is he getting pushed? I don't really see it. Roman Reigns really hasn't been doing anything since Mania. And I look at this and I see so many wasted opportunities to do so much more. The B team defeated Breezango. This is a repeat of last week. I mean, they just extended their celebration a bit more. They're fun, they're goofy and shit, but where is this going? Once again, I need to ask, beyond the goofy celebration and all that, and now it's the second time. It's basically, if it sort of worked last week, let's do it again. So they do it again, and what have we to show for it besides basically a repeat? You just showed us this last week. Now you're going to do it again? What's the point of that? You just showed us this. Show us something new, for God's sakes. This is the exact same match. The exact same outcome. There was, they did the goofy celebration last week as well. It might have been a bit more over the top, but you could have maybe just did that celebration instead of the one from last week and saved us some time. Oh my God. If this night couldn't get cringy enough, Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey, with Stephanie McMahon presiding over the contract signing. Ronda Rousey smiling, Nia Jax smiling. Stephanie McMahon basically buries both of them. Talks about how Nia Jax could barely beat Alexa Bliss. Talked about Ronda Rousey's shortcomings. Instead of putting them over, why does she always do this? I need to ask. Instead of putting the thing is, Wade Keller, the supposed expert, is putting this segment over. Oh, she basically cut promos for both girls. How is that a good thing? Steph McMahon, the authority figure, cutting the promos for them as they're smiling away like two goofballs. I'm still trying to get over last week. This is going to be awesome. Woo! Oh. Ho-ho! And Stephanie is downright burying them. Does she not even realize what she's doing? You're burying the champion by saying, oh, you could barely beat Alexa Bliss. How are you going to break? The thing is, it's get her out of there. She is so lame. So uncool. I will admit, Stephanie, she's hot. She's got a great body and everything. But my God, she is so cringy on the mic. And she wasn't like this, say, back in 2000 or when she was the SmackDown GM. But now she tries so hard to be McMahon. She tries so hard to be like her father. It just comes out as just so plain cringy. I look at him like, oh my God, just stop already. Can you speak in a normal voice? Can you stop all these little intricacies that you do? Because they're all horrible. All the mannerisms. All the little phrases that she says. And then the line from Rousey, I'm going to take your title and your arm. I really felt like being that annoying uncle and be like, well, I'm going to take your nose. I mean, what that line. And also, that's the thing. I also got to start addressing this about Rousey. I know I get on her about the, I don't like the Jekyll and Hyde shit she does. I don't. Because she overuses it so much. She's smiling like a lunatic. Then the next minute, she's like, I'm going to take your arm. And, she's trying so hard with the face. I don't know what it is. It's like when Jinder Mahal does that exaggerated sneer, I look at it and I'm like, okay, why don't you at least do something here that, you know, that's like a bit believable, at least, that you could look at it like, all right, she's a badass, she's in the UFC, you know, she's got that angry look, and it kind of plays off on who she is, you know. But when Jinder does it, I believe it. When Ronda Rousey does it, I look at it and I'm like, this is such an exaggerated look. She looks like a damn idiot when she does it. You know, just stop doing that already. Like, some wrestlers could do it and it works for them. Like I said, like with Jinder. You know, that I think that's cool. That makes him look menacing. And it's, you know, it's wrestling. He's over the top. But when Rousey does it, she's... I don't know. It doesn't work. She's got to get a new facial expression. She needs to work with an acting coach, for God's sakes. With somebody, they need to do pre-tapes with her, because this live shit is not getting it done. She's fucking horrible! And Stephanie's worse. And they like to say she's good on the mic. No, she's not. She was like decent on the mic at one time, but now she's just, it's just the ego. She tries too hard. She's lost herself in her own character. She's the only one who has a character on the show, the bitch. And she's untouchable. Like I said, no one's allowed to say anything to her. Everyone's got to be scared of her. Even Roman Reigns, he has to dance around her in a promo. Oh, we can't defend Stephanie McMahon. We can't say anything against the woman on the show. It's enough with this already. Have the wrestlers talk back. Have them fight back. Mick Foley is there getting fired. She's making Big Show cry. I've had enough of her! Get her off the damn show already! I'm sick of her burying every single wrestler. Even if this show is shit, I can't stand, even though it's a scripted thing, I'm just saying, you know, they have her cut off Kurt Angle's balls. Have her cut off Mick Foley's balls. It's enough already. Making everybody look like a bunch of fucking pansies. Because she wants to put herself over because she's got such a giant fucking ego. Fuck her! Dolph Ziggler defeated Chad Gable. Who cares? Then after the match, they come into the ring. Drew McIntyre and him hit the Claymore. They're taking over by beating Chad Gable. Natalya defeated Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke is a hot fucking bitch. That's all I'm going to say. Everything else here was okay. You know, Natalya moved on. I guess the relationship between her and Ronda Rousey is not even present anymore for whatever reason. Elias defeated Bobby Roode. You know, these are two guys, like I said. Okay, Elias is one of the few people that has a character. They don't want to move it forward. Bobby Roode, his character is that he's glorious, whatever the fuck that means. Once again, it's an entrance. It's a nickname. The Glorious One. It's like the Great One, but with less charisma. Far less charisma. So, these guys have been feuding now for like 2 months. Match, 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 match. Every single night since WrestleMania, it's been match after match after match. You know, I've never seen WWE. Well, I've seen it a lot of times, but I'm saying, like, these two guys are special. We all know what Bobby Roode is capable of. We all see it in Elias. We see that even the marks, even the casuals, everybody likes Elias. He's got the look. He's got the mic skills. He's got all the tools to be a top star in this company. Okay, and they might have put him over here, but didn't Bobby Roode go over last week? I mean, all this, there's no storyline between these two. It's just match after match after match after match. You win a match, I win a match. This match ends in disqualification. This match ends in no contest. I mean, if you're going to this many matches? Could we at least have a few promos and other things thrown in between? I mean, what are they doing with this? Like, do they really honestly think that we're going to be entertained by just these millions of matches? We're just having 1,000 fucking matches, one after the other after the other. I mean, enough is enough already. I have seen, like, I've never seen this many matches in a row where there hasn't at least been some type of storyline or something. We're just having 1,000 fucking matches in a row with no explanation or anything like that. Then in the main event, it was Strowman defeating Finn Balor. Like, we didn't know we were going to have that result. Finn Balor runs at Braun Strowman, hits him with a sling blade, knocks him down, drop kicks him over the barricade. Strowman should have no-sold all that shit. I'm being perfectly honest, and I know the smarks might be saying, oh, no-sell. Every single other wrestler no-sells, but the thing is, how the hell is a guy that size knocking down Strowman? And I don't care if they're both running at each other. The force from Strowman's chest alone should fucking knock fucking fuck boy on his ass. I mean, how could you, I understand that this is fake and everything, but I cannot suspend my disbelief that far. That we're having fucking Finn Balor knocking down Strowman off his feet like multiple times. Strowman should have just plowed through this motherfucker. They gotta make it like, Finn Balor, what a valiant effort. Who fuck cares? He's against Strowman. I do not like how they're booking Strowman at all. They have really fucked this guy up. He's a tag team guy. Hey, I'm tag team. Playing to the crowd, doing fun stuff like running around the ring to play to the crowd. The fuck is this shit? He's supposed to be the monster among men. He's knocking structures on top of people and shit. A few months later, he's palling it up with Finn Balor. The fuck's going on here? What is this bullshit? What kind of fucking show are they running here? I mean, it's bad enough that nobody has any fucking character. Oh, I'm the warrior, guys. I'm the architect. No, wait a minute. I'm the Kingslayer. No, wait a minute. I'm I'm Iowa's own. No, wait a minute. I'm Red Hot Rollins. Enough with the nicknames. Take some time to make characters for these people because they're all a bunch of fucking boring ass schmucks. Looking on my Instagram the other day, Hulk Hogan in the gym with Macho Man, and I'm looking at these two guys killing themselves in the gym. These two charismatic guys who, had a zest for this business, that their promos were fucking earth-shattering. Every time they cut a promo, you were reeling from it. Holy fucking shit. What did I just witness? Every single time these guys had a match, even against a fucking jobber, you were like, you appreciated it. You saw these larger-than-life wrestlers. Macho Man with his fucking promos. Hulk Hogan with his promos. With his charisma. These guys didn't even have to open their mouths. You looked at them, holy shit, these guys are stars. The bandana, the sunglasses, ripping the shirt, the physiques. My God. Then, fast forward 30 years, Finn Balor, motherfuckers. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn talking to people in fucking drag. I'm sorry, but this wrestling product is fucking shit! How do you go from Macho Man and Hulk Hogan? From Stone Cold and The Rock and The Undertaker and Kane and Mick Foley, these rough, roughneck, manly, masculine, larger than life, top level, huge stars like this, you know, elite personalities. How do you go from that to this fucking Z list of stars that we have today? You know, I just look at it, and not only is it cringy, but even top level athletes like Ronda Rousey, she just brings all the wrong shit to the table. I mean, you know, she already sank her own ship with the Ellen DeGeneres appearance. She, every single time she goes out there, she sinks her ship even further into the proverbial ocean with all her lame ass fucking smiling and her boo boo face, you know, facials. I mean, go to Jinder Mahal and ask him, how do I do proper facial expressions in a way that, you know, can still be a bit outlandish but still believable to the point where I can come off as a, you know, as a tough guy. I mean, because Stephanie cutting these promos, I mean, it's like a fucking joke. It really is. I look at this and I'm just like, wow. What are we even doing here? I mean, this is a product that's went off the rails a long time ago, but it's like, how does it get like this? How do we have a TV deal with Fox, yet this show is the worst it's ever fucking been? Fuck it, man. I've said it a long time ago. People always like to quote 1995 as the absolute worst year in WWE. Somebody asked me, what do I think is worse, 2012 or this? No! This time period is way fucking worse. I look back on 2012 and I say maybe I was a bit too harsh. Because even though it was pretty bad, and all the years after that were pretty bad as well, this is terrible. This is horrendous. This is fucking beyond horrendous. This is unbearably fucking bad. Because now we have a show that has absolutely nothing going on it. Name one thing that happened. I mean, really, like, even though we had Stephanie on the show, where did we progress here? Did Ronda Rousey become more legit in the WWE? No, she's hounding her over the fact, oh, how does it feel that, you know, you didn't earn this title shot or anything? Okay, if we're going to play that route, why even give her the title shot? The fuck is this shit? We're trying to bury Jax. Oh, you took a bit too long to beat Alexa Bliss. Yeah, that's because you booked the match like that. You did that, right? Stephanie, aren't you partially in charge of all this fucking shit? Then you write yourself into the show to bury the wrestlers over that fact. The fuck is wrong? It's like this company is run by a bunch of people that are just fucking mental. This is like fresh out of a fucking mental institution. None of this shit makes any earthly sense whatsoever. It's like a bunch of fucking chimpanzees are in fucking creative, throwing their shit at the walls. They've got like they've got like a whole bulletin board of ideas. And whatever fucking shit lands on those like little post-it notes, they pull them down and those are the ideas they use. And probably they're not even just full ideas, they're probably just random words. Maybe even not even words, maybe they're just fucking numbers or some shit, and they just fucking write it into the script. Oh, here we go, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like just, there's not even words, they try to interpret it, and then we get this shit. That's the only explanation I can come up with, because this is fucking horseshit, this is fucking horrible, this is fucking bad, this is just a show that you watch it and you hate life. Not only do you hate the show, but you hate yourself for sitting there. And then you ask yourself, why did you sit there and watch it? Because you hate yourself. Well, I do it for my subs, obviously, but this show is so fucking painful. It's so bad. And it has no creative direction at all. They have a creative team. It's so hilarious that they have so many people in creative. They have like 20, 30 people there. And not one person has the balls to tell Vince or Stephanie or anybody else that this shit fucking sucks and that maybe we should go in a totally different direction, like a complete fucking 180, like a complete fucking retooling. There you go, guys. There's a Raw review. Know what else you want me to say? I mean, the show is beyond bad. It's past bad. It's over the fucking moon. Over the goddamn horizon bad. But this has been your YWC champ. And I'm signing out.